Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm Leslie or Mama D. For those of you who are joining me or watching this and haven't watched any of my other lives or aren't familiar with my company, Aspire Educational Consultants or Aspire Education. I it felt so compelled to come on this morning and do a live because I am getting the honor and privilege of speaking to and meeting just so many parents, so many people right now who are fed up. Right, parents are just done, and so many Americans are done. My background in government, and I'm a former attorney, turned homeschool mom, and just an absolute nerd about the Constitution. And it's driving me crazy with what's going on, right? And what I wanted to talk about this morning and just tell parents and really convey to you so strongly is that keep fighting these mask mandates and vaccine mandates, and absolutely, because it's about personal choice, right? This isn't about us going back and forth about whether or not you personally should get the vaccine. It's about the mandates and the government's role in our lives and in this country. But more than that, it is so insidious. And because my passion is strengthening families, that is what Aspire ultimately is all about, is strengthening families and building leadership and critical thinking into education, that I want to implore parents and teachers, it is time to act. You can sit there and say, okay, if they mandate the vaccine, I'm pulling my kids immediately. But even if they don't mandate the vaccine, you guys have to understand the indoctrination that's going on. And if you're aware of it and you're okay with critical race theory and you're okay with these unbelievable sex education, national sex education standards, which is hypersexualizing our kids, then, and you're aware of that, then, and you're choosing to keep your kids in that, then at least you've been informed, right? But what I'm finding is so many parents are, seeing books, The Lawn Boy, The Whispers, they're seeing these books for the first time, or hearing about these books, maybe on social media or around, and they're believing that it's not in their schools. It is in the schools. Now, you may be blessed and be very active. You might be in a private school where you really do know, everything that's going on and in there, that's fine. But that's an absolute tiny minority of kids in this country. And the school boards, all of this, everybody is starting to understand how important local elections are. So I just want to reiterate that. And it's, election day in so many locations, so many states right now. You have got to act, not only get the right people into office, but you have got to be aware, parents, that your kids are getting indoctrinated. It is insidious. And we all believe that we are able to counter that at home. Think about it. Your kids are away from you during their waking hours more than they're with you. And they're getting bombarded with this. They're also getting, their peers who have this, and they're just completely immersed in it. Okay. And so it is here. It is happening. It has been happening. It is one of the things that I kind of saw coming, was the fact that the government was also rewriting history. Our schools were rewriting history when our oldest two of our four, we had four within 4 years, and they were in the public school system. And I even had a teacher, I stayed afterwards for one of my kids' teachers, who showed me the book she was using and was told she couldn't use it anymore. And she wanted me to see it because it was accurate, right? Their social studies book. What was being used and what she showed me that was now being told that they were supposed to use, but she was getting ready to retire. And so she decided, I'm using what I'm using, because she saw that it took every bit of religion out. even though that is exactly the purpose, right? And religious freedoms, it didn't even talk about that with the Pilgrims or William Penn or anything about it. So just even that, right? That was 18, 19 years ago at this point. Okay, so there has been this indoctrination. It's the only word. You have got to know that your kids are being fed with misinformation about history, for example, right? And then everything has shifted. Do not think for a second that they haven't been incorporating these concepts, right, that are involved in critical race theory, that they have been rewriting history. It has been happening for a very long time. And I don't just want to throw this out at you, but I also want to give you hope. You can homeschool. You can do this. And teachers, I'm talking to you too, because I have been getting more and more and hearing from more and more teachers. At Aspire, we have a curriculum workshop for parents. It's an incredible system that I've put together over the years and working with clients for the last 7 years that gives you an incredible foundation and leads to a good choice in curriculum, right? And just gets you set up, keeps everything, calm. You'll get stuff that will work for your kids. But I've also been training teachers so that they can pivot quickly, because these teachers are racked because they are now seeing what they're supposed to be teaching these kids of theirs that they just love. And they don't want to do it. They also don't want to be told whether or not they have to get, a jab in their body or get medication that they don't want. And they don't know where to turn. You can do it. It is time. You have got to act. Nothing changes unless we have the courage to act. Believe me, I totally understand the fear that's involved. But especially for you all, I made the conscious decision, and my husband and I, to decide to homeschool our kids, but I was scared to death. I had 4 kids in 4 years, and I never imagined homeschooling ever. And I know the courage it takes, but I'm telling you, you can do it. You can watch all kinds we've got videos on our channel here. Subscribe, watch the Chaos to Calm video webinars, watch the Homeschool with Confidence boot camp. Those are going to be redone soon, right? Go and it's so inexpensive. Jump in. I've got a live curriculum workshop coming up in a week. Teachers, please, I will get you set up, help you know how to pivot. Understand that you can do this. Pretty soon on our website, actually this week, we're going to have that teacher workshop just for self-paced that you can just purchase, or you can come live for support, or just talk to homeschooling people around you. There is support. You can do this. And as a community, more and more as families leave, there's even more community, right? And ability to get together. At Aspire, we're trying to put together teachers and families, helping to start new co-ops, right? This is a wonderful opportunity for churches who have the space and aren't using it during the days to host homeschoolers, right? It's a win-win. And even if the church can handle it and give it for free or for a donation each month, right? Or keeping costs low, it's still a win for the church, a win for the community. We have got to pull together as communities. Our public education was not intended to be handled by the government. That is not the intent of our founding fathers. It's not where it should land. It should land in the local communities. Look into your local school boards here in our area, right? There's Suburban Action PAC doing awesome work, right? There's all kinds of organizations that are either local or national, right? We the People, Stand Up For, right? The Stand Up for Michigan movement, Freedom Initiative Now. Look into these, right? We're multi-county conservatives, or find a liberty group, find someone around you. They are there, and find a way to find that courage, pull together, build community together. Okay. One of our clients, it's amazing to watch, right? I suggested, hey, why don't you put together and do kind of like a science thing one day a week? And it involves both families who've decided to just homeschool and families who aren't quite sure yet, but are thinking they want to do that. So they do it after the school day ends and are building this incredible community, right? So start now, act. If you really feel like you can't pull your child right now for whatever reason, whether it's your work schedule and you don't have the support, or here you go. I hear this all the time from parents of kids who are in high school. I get it. You don't want to ruin your kids' lives. You won't. There are ways to play sports. Just do what you think is right, which you know is right for your family and your children. And what matters, right, is their character and who they are. They can learn information. They can get information anywhere these days, right? And in high school, you could do dual enrollment in your community college. Keep in mind, one semester in a community college class is an entire year credit of high school. Pull your kids, give them a chance to breathe through the holidays and hit the ground running in January with them. You can do this. I know on our YouTube channel, I've got a homeschooling high school webinar, right? That'll orient you and get you set up. You can do this. We all can do this, right? If you know and you're convicted that it is the right thing in this day and age to get your kids out from these government-controlled indoctrination factories, you can do it. You can. And I know I'm going to say that about 20 times right now, but I want to convey to you, I've been there. I totally understand where you're coming from, and you can do this. I want to give you the courage that you can do this. It's as simple as pulling together and families talking. Let's say, you work, both of the parents work and you have to continue to work. I totally understand. But guess what? That's true for others too. Can you go to your employer and have one half day off and each of you have a half day off? You don't need that much time when you homeschool. You don't need that much time. And then in the other time, you guys pull together and maybe have, a teacher, if that's more comforting to you, or have someone oversee, the kids' education and the curriculum that you've chosen. Or you don't have to homeschool during the day. If you can find a way to have someone be with your kids and let them explore and play and read, right? And then you do work with them in the evening and on Saturdays. There are so many options, right? And you can pull together, like I said, as a community. Look to start a new co-op, maybe at your church, or just start with, a few classes that you need support with, and reach out, find out if there are teachers. Go on Facebook. Please, if you know teachers, or if you're watching this or you know of teachers, have them go to the Aspire Education Facebook page, Aspire Educational Consultants, our Facebook page. And we have got pinned at the top, we've got an Excel spreadsheet where teachers can put in their information. And when other individuals reach out to us, or we're helping people put together a co-op, we've got resources at our fingertips and that we can forward to people, right? But we've got to build this out, and we want to connect everyone, but you can do it right in your community. Okay. I just want to say again, please really understand, pray, know we are in a battle for your children's soul, your children's character. It isn't just about the mask mandates and the vaccine mandates. And believe me, I can't stand them. I cannot stand them. I don't care if you believe fully in the vaccination or you don't. It is about the fact that they are dictating, the government is dictating what we can and cannot, and what we should and should not put into our own bodies. That is completely wrong. And beyond that, the CRT, the sex ed, everything, the whole focus right now in our education system is not a true and accurate, actual learning education of truth. So please hear me. You can do this. You can homeschool. And who knows, you might love it so much, because a lot of people say, well, we'll do it for this year. I can't tell you the hundreds and hundreds of families who said, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Is it always easy? No, of course not. Nothing is, but it is so worth it. It's incredible. Okay. So please, 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 please know you can do this. If that is what you are feeling right now, but you've also got to know it's time to act. Let's get real, parents. Your kids are being indoctrinated with this stuff. They are. So please, please know that you can act, because that is what is going to make all the difference. All right. I hope you guys have a great week. And I will hopefully see you again next Tuesday. Maybe not as pleading, but it has really been on my heart. And I wanted you guys to know that you can do this. And I want you to have the courage to be able to do it. All right, you guys have a great week, and I will see you again soon.